Hello everyone, this is Ronnie from UK Fruit Fest, which is a raw vegan festival that will take place this year from the 26th of July to the 2nd of August. And tickets are starting to get to the point where they're quite limited in some of the options. So you might want to get in touch soon if you're interested in coming. So today's talk is going to be about how it's not a holistic approach. It's not a holistic approach. So, what do I mean by that? The word holistic seems to mean for me that your approach to life, to health, to many things is taking into account many different factors. It's your sleep, it's your energy, it's your relationships, it's your blah blah blah. And that is what's called lifestyle or well-being. I'd call that lifestyle or well-being. So if you're looking to have an overall rounded good life, it's not just about improving your diet, that's for sure. It is about all these different factors because life's kind of a complicated thing, and it's not just one. It's not just like having a great job, that's everything, or having a great relationship, that's everything. Um, but uh, so people look at it as like there's all these different factors, right? And then people apply it to health, like there's all these different factors. And they say this thing, it's not just about diet, it's a holistic approach, it's all these different things. But there are many situations in which it's not a holistic approach, it's a diet approach, and that is it. And some people cannot accept that, and you have to accept that. You have to accept that it is your diet that has to change, not your emotional well being, not your meditation practice, not what you do at the gym, not your relationships, not how you love yourself, not looking in the mirror telling yourself, I love myself 100 times. None of that has to really change. Your diet has to change. And the reason that your diet has to change is because for certain conditions and certain problems, diet is the problem. One of the main health issues that people have today is they're overweight. That's a diet problem. Everyone wants it to be something else. If you think about it, when you ask people in your life, if someone in your life says they want to lose some weight, a lot of the times people will say, it's not what I eat. I'm actually eat quite healthy. I need to go to the gym. That's what they'll say. They'll say something of that nature. It's not what I eat. I need to go to the gym. I need to get back into, my fitness classes. Whatever. And other people might say, I need to get my mindset right. I need to get my emotions right. It's that stress I'm going through. I need to get less stress in my life, and that's why I put on weight. And not just connecting it to diet. You can be stressed and be skinny. You can be skinny and be emotionally messed up in all sorts of ways. Um, you can actually eat a lot volume wise and be skinny. So we have this desire, our mind has this desire to avoid the difficult approach and the approach that would mean changing habits and the approach that would mean potentially losing a pleasure. So your diet is a source of pleasure. You don't want to get rid of that. You don't want to do something hard, which changing your diet, changing your routines would be a hard thing. But it's the thing that works. And we we can't see it for ourselves. We have blind spots, and for many people, diet is a blind spot. And I can be in front of people providing this information, and it just doesn't go in because they're just like not open to hearing that their diet is the problem. And they just have this wall up that says, "Oh yeah, that all that research isn't true. That's not right. Everything they're saying, that's all a scam. That's just something." Um, so people have these walls up and don't take it in. And so you can say to people, well, heart disease is caused by diet, bad diet, and it can be reversed by changing diet. And type 2 diabetes is caused by a bad diet and it can be reversed. And high blood pressure is caused by a bad diet and it can be reversed by improving diet. And it's probably likely that many autoimmune conditions are caused by a bad diet and can be improved by a good diet. And digestive problems are caused by a bad diet and could potentially be improved by a bad diet, by a good diet. In fact, many of these situations don't even need a good diet. Don't need a particularly good diet. You could reverse type 2 diabetes by drinking Coca-Cola and nothing but Coca-Cola. It's not a good diet, but you could do it. Simply because that's what's causing, the cause is not Coca-Cola, the cause is not sugar. It's amazing to me that sometimes I speak to raw vegans and they don't understand how these things work. I'm like, wait, do I need to cover the total basics for you guys? I thought this is the mistake we've always made at the festivals, assuming that people come in with a certain level of knowledge. People don't know any of this stuff. That's why people go back to eating meat, by the way. They don't know any of this stuff. They've not looked into like all of Dr. McDougall's stuff, Dr. McGregor's, whatever, Nathan Craig, and all the history going back. They're not looking at the hundred years of research. They're not looking at that stuff. They're not looking at all the information showing all those indigenous tribes people had terrible health. Maasai, blooming Eskimos, all those people, terrible health. Oh, what about the indigenous peoples that ate meat? They all had heart disease and arthritis and osteoporosis and all these problems. What are you talking about? These people aren't a model of health to follow. So, and then it's amazing. People will be a vegan one day and then they'll not be a vegan. And then they'll reference the Weston Price Foundation. The Weston A. Price Foundation. You're like, are you kidding? What are you talking about? The Weston A. Price Foundation. How are you buying into this nonsense? So the truth is something that most people don't pretend to want, don't really want, because the truth often goes against what people want to believe. And in this situation, a lot of people like the comfortable idea, yeah, but it's a holistic approach, isn't it? Really, it's a holistic approach. You know, and like, no, it's not a holistic approach. It's a dietary approach entirely. And it's quite a specific dietary approach. It's getting rid of animal products and processed oils. That'll make most of the difference. Getting rid of animal products, getting rid of processed oils. And I would suggest all kind of processed fat like nut butters and seed butters, tahini and stuff like that. I'd get rid of all that. And there's plenty of raw vegans that still eat that stuff. But for people who are really on a health improvement journey, they should be, you know, pretty much taking all of that stuff out. On Fruity Fridays, we had a conversation about all this, and I was talking about spiritual practices and diet. And a lot of people like the idea that their spiritual practice will sort of protect them health-wise and diet-wise. And then many people who have been very advanced in their spiritual practice are totally confused when they have a heart attack or they develop high blood pressure or they get type 2 diabetes. They're like, why would this happen to me? I'm a relaxed, chilled out, nice person and I have good energies and all that stuff and good vibes. Yeah, but that doesn't matter. It's like, you have to think about it the same way. If you've got all that and you get knocked over by a car, it doesn't protect you from being knocked over by a car and potentially breaking your bones or whatever. Like, it only protects you for what it protects you for. You know, and spiritual practice stuff, it puts your body into a state of healing. It puts you into the rest and digest response. So maybe your digestion improves. You're in a more restful mood. You're healing more. It probably helps you with healing through emotional and emotional issues and gaining perspective in life and mental clarity. It probably helps you with all that stuff and maybe developing your your spiritual body, or whatever you want to call it, your spiritual connection, if you like, but it doesn't impact really your actual physical body in terms of protecting you from heart disease, which is what people want to believe. And when Dean Ornish first did his study on reversing heart disease, he added in meditation and all these other practices. And then Caldwell Esselstyn came along and did a study and said, well, what if we throw all that stuff out? What if we have the least meditated person in the world, the least, what if we take, some kind of Nazi war criminal, nasty person, whatever, bully, who's got heart disease, and we put him on a plant-based diet? Well, his heart disease will go away as well, because it's not about all that other stuff, really. Still, when you say this to people, they will still say, but it's a holistic approach, isn't it? And what they mean to say is, I don't need to change my diet, don't I not? And it's like, no, you do. If you want to protect yourself from heart disease, which is also protecting yourself from stroke, which is protecting yourself from dementia, which is protecting yourself from Alzheimer's, high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, if you want to protect yourself from that stuff, and all the complications that go along with that, then you have to change your diet. It is only your diet that will make a difference. It is only your diet. It is not a holistic approach. And this might be the case for an enormous amount of health conditions as well. I was referencing autoimmune diseases, rheumatoid arthritis. Many people reverse rheumatoid arthritis by removing dairy and in a vegan diet. A lot of people reverse their multiple sclerosis by going raw vegan. By the way, some people will go raw vegan and reverse rheumatoid arthritis or multiple sclerosis kind of stuff, and then go back to vegan and go downhill and just be happy with that. I don't get it. You tell me why people do that. I don't know. For me, I want to live healthfully. So if I had signs of those things, I'd rather not have those things. I don't want to live in denial, like it's okay to be in pain. No, not if you can avoid it. Let's say you had to live on bananas. You'll get used to that. You'll get used to it really quickly. Why get used to pain? Why get used to pain and discomfort? So, autoimmune conditions, digestive problems. A lot of people as well, they go raw vegan, their digestive problems improve, and then they go back to vegan. Oh, the digestive problems are coming back again. It's like, what are you expecting? And then they'll go to a meat diet, and it's like, wait, the raw diet was the one that worked for you. But they won't stick to raw. Anyway, because people can't give up their addiction to cook food. And that's what it is. I got to be honest with you. That's what it is. I don't say that if I'm at a dinner table with other vegans. I'm saying, hey, you guys are all addicted to cooked food. I don't bring it up. In my own videos, I'll bring it up to my own audience. You don't have to. You can unsubscribe or whatever. You don't have to watch this stuff. But it is what it is. People want to eat cooked food because they're addicted to it. That's the only reason. It doesn't taste that good, by the way. It's addiction. A lot of these foods are kind of tasteless. They don't have a lot of flavor. It's addiction that makes people go back to it. And until you can accept that, and until you see it and notice it and realize that's what you are doing, then until you do that, you're not going to really go raw, I don't think. And digestive problems. Now, cancer is another big area of diet. And there's always been research not always, but for all my life, there's research that suggests that more fruits and vegetables reduces your chance of getting cancer. Reduces your chance of getting cancer. And processed meats are a carcinogen. Red meat is a likely carcinogen towards colon cancer and stuff like that. So, You know, and a lot of people want raw vegan to save the day last minute. It's like, oh, I was 70 years eating meat and the raw vegan diet didn't work. It's like, of course, you're asking it. You're asking your body to reverse 70 years of damage um, because you went 6 months on a raw vegan diet and you didn't really stick to it. You know, because why bother really sticking to it? You just need to do a little bit of it. Why bother? Life's not that important. I don't know what is the mindset of people. People can't get themselves together. People, that's why people need coaching and all this stuff. Like, they cannot get themselves together. They cannot motivate themselves. People live their entire lives being told what to do. Then when it comes to changing their diet, they don't know how to tell themselves what to do. They don't know how to do it. They don't know how to put a plan together. They don't know how to follow the plan. They don't know how to be a leader of themselves. So people need coaching and advice and more coaching and help, and then they go to 25 different people because they can't figure out who's the right person. They can't follow people properly. They can't take leadership properly. They continue to be closed off. So they don't go anywhere. Just go round and round in circles. And a lot of it comes down to people not wanting to face truth. Well, I don't like the fact what that person said. I'm going to find someone else that says something that sounds nice to me. Like, it's a holistic journey. You need to go to a therapist. No, you don't. For your own maybe emotional stuff, maybe you do, but not really. No one really needs to go to a therapist. You don't have to go to a therapist. But if you want to avoid pain and misery in your life and suffering and disease, you need to change your diet. And it is your diet alone that makes the difference. And that's my main message of this video. It's the diet that makes the difference when it comes to health. It is not these other things, and it's not changing your mindset. It's changing your diet. Now, if you're going to say to me, well, if I do the emotional work that helps me change my diet, I've never seen it. Honestly, I've never seen it. Never seen it. Wow, I did this emotional work and my diet just changed. I've not seen that. I do think you need to develop the habits of how to make changes to your habits and routines. And that helps you to change your diet, but it is about focusing on changing your diet. And anything that helps you change your diet is probably a good thing, but anything that's really a distraction, and this is the thing, there's a classic thing with the fruit festivals, is if people come to the fruit festivals, and I would imagine a lot of people are looking to live a healthier life, and a lot of people end up just doing the socializing thing, which is fine because that's a good reason to go. And a lot of people are doing the holistic stuff. There's maybe holistic things going on, like a sound healing bath. Like, there's nothing healing about this stuff. Like, honestly, I'm going to go for a sound healing. It isn't healing. It's just restful. It's just like puts you in a state of restfulness and relaxation or something. But you can do that anywhere. You just deep breathe like sitting on the floor. You don't even need sound or whatever. All it is stimulating the stimulate the relaxation response. Maybe stimulating the vagus nerve and stuff like that, the subconscious in some way, but it's not truly healing. And really, people should be at the classes learning, and they're not. They're like, oh, I don't like what that person has to say. Yeah, but that's what you need to hear sometimes. Until you really get it, you need to hear it. But most people won't put themselves through that. And if you do kind of already know this stuff, you need to know it enough that you can help other people with it. So once again, you should go to the classes and learn until you can really pass this information across to others in a powerful way. So anyhow, there's so many people that are involved in this community. They don't know the basic stuff. And I used to be mystified as to why would someone come into this movement and then go back to eating food that they know is going to lead them to, like, you know, world of dementia and heart disease and dysfunction and pain and misery and all that stuff. Why? Why would they do that? Oh, it's because they don't know. They've not learned. They weren't at the classes. They weren't asking the questions. They weren't reading the books. They weren't doing the study. So it's people like me's job to share that, hopefully. But it's not a holistic approach. It's a dietary approach. Health, wellness, everyone wants it to be this whole... I'm telling you, everyone wants it to be... oh, we're talking too much about the diet. I want to talk... It should be about all these different messages and holistic stuff and blah and all that. But overwhelmingly, it's diet. Oh, all these speakers talk too much about diet. They're barely talking about diet. They're barely talking about diet. This is what speakers often do at health events and even at raw food events. Yeah, the diet's great, but let me show you some supplements that really work. Nonsense. You know, the diet's good, but you know, the soil's bad, and the farmers are bad, and the supermarkets are bad. Everyone's bad. It's all a bad place. But this supplement company saves the world. This is the best supplement company ever. And they send me free stuff, but it doesn't matter. I'm not biased. It's nonsense. And no one is focusing on diet. Everyone wants the breathing. Deep breathing is the important thing. Let me speak for 2 hours on breathing. Let me speak for 2 hours on loving other people. Let me speak about self-love. Oh, I need to go for an operation now because I can't self-love enough to feed my body in such a way that my body doesn't become destroyed. Oh, that's self-love. Oh, I see. Thank you for the self-love message. But you're not taking care of your body. Right, okay. People have all these messages that they want to be the more important message than diet when it comes to health. There's no more important message. And, what's the other things that people want to talk about? Certain machines, gizmos, gadgets, ways of diagnosing things, protocols, different stuff like cleanse things. Cleanse isn't really a diet. This is a totally wrong approach. It's a diet change, not a do once in a while a cleanse. Fasting doesn't give a long-term enough benefit to anyone. Fasting, like it's not what people need or want. It's not what people really need. It's fasting is like some kind of mental ego trip. Like, watch how many days I can go without food. Like, who cares, man? You did it for 30 days. I'm doing this for 12 years. Are you going to be able to keep this going? Or are you going to do it for 30 days and then go back to a diet where you're wrecking your body? Which is what most people are doing. So, I don't know. Apologies if these truths are too hard to face or whatever, but it's diet. It's diet. It's diet. No, it's diet. No, it's diet. But what about, no, it's diet. That's the thing. But I heard this, no, it's diet. You need to change your diet. You need to get rid of animal products, processed oils as the first stage, pretty much. So what about energies? What about the stuff in the clouds? What about fluoride? What about poisons? It's none of that stuff. What about organic? Nope. Doesn't matter if it's organic or not. Really doesn't matter. Have to get rid of the animal products and the oil that are destroying your arterial system, the animal proteins that cause the autoimmune conditions, and the animal foods and the lack of fiber that destroys the digestive system. Like, it's fairly simple stuff. Anyway, thank you for watching. Feel free to share, comment, and all that stuff. And we'll see you in another video.